Hi everyone. I know it's me. A lot of hair's gone, but it's me. Hi everyone. It's me, Grant the Movie and TV Guy. Hello. And as promised, this is part 2 of what I like to call the TV Review Roundup Goodie Bag. Now, for those who watched part 1, some who are surprisingly chill about it, I gotta admit I was a little tired and a little crappy when I made that. I was maybe a little too harsh on the He-Man haters. Look, I'm not mad at you guys. I'm just disappointed. It's kind of like the way you feel like, and I know that a lot of you watching it, anyone who is a frequent viewer of mine, who has kept subscribing to me, probably is of the same opinion I am to a certain degree and are not going to get offended. So I guess that's fair to say. But basically, to recap, Kung Fu for season 1, 4 stars rather, out of 5. Kevin Can F himself got 5 out of 5 stars. And yes, I'm going to say it, Masters of the Universe Revelation Part 1 got 4.5 out of 5 stars. I enjoyed it. Now on to Part 2. We kept it a mystery for long enough. Part 2 of 3. And we are going to begin, because movies and TV, it's what we do here. And we're going to start with our next review up on the docket. Oh, crap. Did I already forget? No. Okay, sorry. The first review up on the docket is The Movies That Made Us Season 2. This is a documentary series. It is streaming on Netflix. It is the second season, and also it is the show in and of itself is a spin-off of an earlier Netflix series called The Toys That Made Us, which was looking at famous toy lines. This show, they had season 1 of The Movies That Made Us, which I believe tackled Die Hard, Home Alone. Where else was it? Shit, I can't remember. But they also did a sub-series called The Holiday Movies That Made Us, where they did, I know for sure, Elf and the Nightmare Before Christmas. So now we have season 2 of the show proper. And it's a documentary about iconic movies and how they came to be. And there's 4 more movies they spotlight this season and roughly hour-long episodes. And those films are Back to the Future, great movie. Pretty Woman, also a great movie. Jurassic Park, one of my favorites. And Forrest Gump, also a great movie. So that's what it covers. Not much to talk about on this one. We can go pretty quick on this one. It's iconic movies, and you learn a little bit more about it. And yes, even if you're someone like me, I knew some of what they talked about. Not all. Like, for instance, I did not know about the original ending to Pretty Woman that was in the screenplay before the movie was called Pretty Woman. That was interesting and actually kind of moving. Yeah, it started out as a gritty crime drama, apparently. But that kind of was altered when it went to Disney, of course, to Touchstone. But yeah, it's interesting. Stuff about Back to the Future, how it was originally going to be about a spaceman. Some stuff about Forrest Gump. I did not know, up until now, how they removed Gary Sinise's legs to make him play Lieutenant Dan. I did not know how they did that, really, until now. And thanks, Gary Sinise is one of the talking heads, and he explained it. It was like, wow, that's actually really interesting. Really good set of movies. You learn some things. The one knock I have against this whole kind of franchise, and I like it, I've seen every episode of all of the shows. It does feel a little bit too much like a kind of crowd-funded documentary. It's missing a little polish. It kind of does feel like for instance, a lot of the archival footage of set photos, you can see the watermarkings sometimes, like Jurassic Park, they were talking about a weather kind of catastrophe that was happening while they were shooting, and you can very clearly, they try to kind of hide it, but you can very clearly see the Weather Channel logo in the corner. It's stuff like that, where you can tell this is more of an independent production. Not knocking it that way, but it takes it away, the polish is a little off on these shows. But it's a really great nostalgia trip. It also, if you like the movies made us, watch The Toys That Made Us too, it's great. You really get to learn, and I feel like I'm being mean, that's just a beef. Just like a little myth. Movies That Made Us Season 2 is pretty great. Gets 4.5 out of 5 stars for me. A really good show, especially if you're a movie fan, and I'm guessing at least some of you who are coming here to check this out are, because this is a movie and TV channel primarily, so yeah. 4.5 stars out of 5 for The Movies That Made Us Season 2. Next one, this is one I know some of you guys have been waiting for. I'm a little late on it. I've actually watched it today. Binge watched it. Finally. And that is Never Have I Ever Season 2. A lot of people have been already talking about this one. Let's talk about it. First off, minor spoilers for Season 1. So, Never Have I Ever is a show about, Devi. She's a young Indian-American woman, in high school, who is going through the average awkwardness, and the kind of inciting incident is that her father, her beloved father, passes away very sadly, and it's kind of about her and her mother, dealing with it, along with her kind of beautiful cousin comes to live with them, and in Season 2, their grandmother does as well. It's about her, kind of, trying to find a boyfriend, and also deal with her friends, and deal with all the kind of drama of being a teenager. Told through a really terrific gimmick. So, for those who don't know, Never Have I Ever, the big gimmick for it is, the choice of narrator. They established in Season 1 that Devi's father was a big tennis fan, and he loved John McEnroe. And so, John McEnroe narrates the show, actually. The real Borg v. McEnroe, like that guy. The infamous tennis player, are you kidding me? That guy. He's basically her inner thoughts. It's kind of like the Family Guy gag where Patrick Stewart is the inner thoughts of little Susie Swanson. It's kind of like that, but they'll sometimes change it up. Like in Season 1, they did a thing with her kind of frenemy turned potential love interest, who's this kind of dorky guy who's also academically kind of high up there, like she is. His narrator, they sometimes will shift the focus to a different supporting character, and there's one episode in Season 1 where they focus on him, and it's Andy Samberg. And then this season, they topped themselves. The whole season did. I'm not going to say much more about the plot. Season 2 of this show, Season 1, I loved Never Have I Ever. I thought it was fresh. I thought it was charming. The writing was good. The McEnroe of it all was really funny. I liked our lead characters a lot. The young actress who plays Devi is fantastic, as is the mother character. This season is even better. I really liked Season 2 a lot. This is actually even better than Season 1. And what I liked about it is that they're half-hour-long episodes, there's 10 of them, but it really is well-paced. You're really invested in the lives of these people. You really like the younger characters and the adults. You understand the teenagers' problems. We also understand the mom's problems and just her trying to do best for her daughter. One of the best episodes by far, I would say, this season is probably episode 3, where they shift the focus to kind of the bad boy in school, who's kind of her other kind of love triangle with. And they do the narration gimmick again, and it's Gigi Hadid, who actually, steals that whole episode, and her narration is really funny. I've never seen, outside of just, being aware of her as a model and a spokeswoman and stuff like that, and an entrepreneur, I've never seen her act. I don't know if she's ever acted before. She's really funny in this. Her bits involving, because a lot of it is also McEnroe. He's almost like the cartoon Lizzie McGuire from Lizzie McGuire, where he tells if Devi does something bad, and she's like, "Oh, Devi, you messed up," or something like that. So this one, he says the wrong thing. She goes, "Oh, sweetie, no." It's funny. And there's even one part where Samberg comes back in when they try to shift the focus, and she says, "Get out of the booth, Samberg." This is my episode. You had your chance. Very funny. Very funny episode and very funny season. Nice gag. And then, of course, they got McEnroe, too, this season. Not much more to say. Very funny show, very sweet. It leaves it in a place where there could be a Season 3, and I'd really like to see where it goes, because I kind of love this show. It's actually produced, I believe, and created by Mindy Kaling, which is great. She's always delightful. I really love this show. I'm going to give Never Have I Ever Season 2 5 out of 5 stars. This is one of the best coming-of-age shows really on TV right now. I think I don't know if it's gotten a big following, but if you're in the following, keep following it, because I want more. Yeah, Season 3, sorry I left on the back burner, 5 out of 5 stars. Now we're going to end this puppy with a show that many of you might not have heard of, that just ended Season 2. It actually is a weekly series. Just watched season finale literally a half an hour ago, because I watched iCarly afterwards. More on that in a few weeks. We're going to talk about the first season of iCarly. It's when it's over. So, but that show is Why Women Kill, Season 2. Now, this is a show that started, I believe, in 2019 in the summertime. Created by the guy who did Desperate Housewives, and I never cared for Desperate Housewives. I tried watching it back in the day. I just wasn't a fan. But I was kind of interested in Why Women Kill. The first season had a really good cast. It had people like Alexandra Daddario and Lucy Liu and whatnot. And I loved it. Season 1 is a really good kind of satirical soap opera. It kind of reminds me of other kind of send-ups. The first, and it's an anthology, so the first season had that cast involved. And the idea is that the first season told a group of stories, kind of 3 stories across 3 time periods in the same, roughly the same neighborhood. And it was basically, I think one of them was in like the 50s, one of them was in the 80s, and one of them was now. And it was basically the stories of these relationships. And the gimmick is eventually these 3 women in this show will kill someone. By the end of the season, you don't know who it's going to be or how it's going to go down, but basically all of them are involved in some kind of scandalous thing in their relationship, and eventually someone will end up dead at the hands of one of our main female characters. And we don't know when it's going to happen until the end. A really great show with a really great gimmick. They came back for season 2, and they flipped the script a little bit. So this season is primarily set, I believe, in like the 1940s or 50s. And what it is it stars Allison Tolman, who's always terrific. Things like Downward Dog, Fargo, Krampus, what have you. She's in this, and she plays Alma Philcott. She's like this wife. She's married to a veterinarian named Bertram, played by the always hilarious and always terrific Nick Frost of Peg and Frost, of course. And what happens is that she discovers that her husband is a killer. Basically what happens is she discovers that her husband saves people using his veterinary. He basically puts them to sleep, like you would an animal when they become old or they can't take care of themselves. He's a psychopath. But basically, he's almost quaint, though, compared to what happens when she learns his secret and then kind of likes it. So the whole season is kind of watching Alma, who all she wants to be in this garden party club. Like, that's all she wants, are these high society types. She starts becoming kind of homicidal, and through her story we have other little subplots bounce off, including the kind of queen bee of the neighborhood, played by Lana Parrilla, who's kind of the person who also is scheming in a way with her kind of wealthy elderly husband that she's waiting to die to get his fortune. We also have her kind of dummy, himbo kind of actor fella played by Alexander Daddario's brother, yeah. And then you also got Alma's daughter, who begins an affair with not only Mr. Daddario, but also a kind-hearted detective by the name of Detective Loomis, played by an actor named Jourdain Christie. Now, you may not know him by name. I know him very well, and I recognize him immediately. He's Arthur from The Haunting of Hill House. He's Nell's, Nell Crane's tragically taken too soon husband on The Haunting of Hill House, and he has a really big role in this, and he was my favorite character. I really like the Detective Loomis character, and basically all this stuff comes from it. Look, Why Women Kill is great, and season 2 is even better. This story was really interesting, and without giving it away, it leads to one of the best kind of ironic endings I've seen in a while. So I'm not going to say more about it. Why Women Kill Season 2 gets 5 out of 5 stars. I hope there's a Season 3. It's on Paramount+. Go check it out. Okay, 5 out of 5 stars. So to review. The movies that made us Season 2, 4.5 out of 5 stars. And both Never Have I Ever Season 2 and Why Women Kill Season 2 get 5 out of 5 stars. I gotta go. And we will be back tomorrow for my review of Jungle Cruise. Friday is Stillwater. Saturday is The Green Knight. And somewhere in there we will do the third and final part of the TV Review Roundup Goodie Bag. That'll be next time, and until next time, I'm Grant the Movie and TV Guy. I see it all, I'm happy to share it with you. I love you all, I appreciate you all. I love you all, class dismissed. I love you 3000. Be kind to one another. Start binging. If you want to find me, I'm also on Letterboxd at Grant the Movie and TV Guy. And subscribe, like, hit the bell, whatever it does, and be kind to one another. Thank you all. Take care. See you soon. Good night. Bye.